charging into question 4. We see we've got a nice new triangle here. Okay, so we'll just go here. We've got an angle question. That's pretty cool. 5 and 6. So we're going to put our hypotenuse and our opposite and our adjacent. So it goes before. What one uses O and H? Well, that would be sin. Equals O on H. So here's my angle that I'm looking for. And it just happens in this case that O is 6. And then we go along to this setup here and do our arc sin, ready to put it into the calculator. So very carefully, we're going to do shift sin bracket 6 divided by 5 bracket. And we'll help. Error. So what's going on here? What conclusions can you draw? We've got ourselves a trick question here. Trick question. Here's the trick question. This gives me error because this is wrong. I can't have a situation where the opposite side is bigger than the hypotenuse. So this is what you would find if you put your numbers in upside down. You would get yourselves an error. In this particular question, this is not a triangle. How could this be the longer side if this is a 6 and that's a 5? So, not a real triangle is the conclusion for this question. However, the heads up for you is that every now and then you're going to do shift something and you're going to get some sort of error. It's not going to work. That's when you go and check you've got the right numbers in the right place. Because, okay, that's really the purpose of this little sidetrack. Question 5. What's going on with this question? What's going on with this question is that I can see 2 rect triangles, and the idea is you need some piece of information to finish it off. So if I have a look at the right-hand triangle here, I can see I have a right angle, I have a 2, I have an angle, and an X. So if I link these up with one of these guys, there's not going to be enough numbers because I have 2 letters. So this is telling me I have to do this side first. Well, you really want an equation where you have 2 numbers and 1 letter. And there's no angles in this picture. Hopefully everybody understands it. This is 90, that this is also 90. That's some background knowledge right there. All right. So I can't see any letters, any angles. So what do we do when there's no angles? I do believe we revert to Pythagoras' theorem. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. 4 squared equals 3 squared plus X squared. Well, that's a 16. That's a 9. I'd expect everyone to know those two. Oh, we want the X's by themselves. So out of here, Mr. 9s. There's going to be 16, take 9. So that's going to be 7 equals X squared. X equals the square root of 7. Now, we can probably just leave it here. So that's one part of the answer. So what this means is I come up to this. All right, that's going to be one part of the answer. X was centimetres. So I can come up here and just quietly, no one's watching, scribble that out and write square root of 7. Now, I could put it in a calculator and get like 2.5, whatever, or I'm happy to leave it like that. Now, second part of the question, this part of the triangle. If I'm sitting here, this is hypotenuse, it's empty. Across the way is opposite. Next to me is adjacent. If that's a bit confusing, just go OPP. All right, so that's a tan is opposite over adjacent. Tan of theta equals 2 over square root of 7. I don't know what that is, but the calculator will take care of that. Now, what do we do about this tan? Well, we don't inverse cos, we inverse tan. We don't go shift cos, we go shift tan. It's not arc cos that's needed in this situation, it's arc tan, arc cos. Okay, arc tan. Doing the same thing, we're removing the tan from the problem. So, how do we write this? What's the notation we've agreed? This is because different peoples have these words on their calculator, and this is telling us to do the opposite of tan. So 2, and I'm going to explicitly just show you what I'm going to type here. I'm going to type this. This is what I'm going to type into the calculator. So shift tan, bracket, 2 divide by, let's get this right, just square root 7. Let's go to the end and press a bracket. Theta is apparently 37 degrees. Should I go 37.1? Perhaps so. Degrees. Right. Now, we're heading places. Question combined Pythagoras from the last chapter with trigonometry to find an angle. Okay, good stuff. With a star, while I find my pen lid.